Welcome back to Smithsonian's National Zoo Park build, where we are making the Smithsonian National Zoo from Washington, D.C., but it's a dinosaur park. We have some fossils here. I'm not going to process these yet because it's just 5 pips. Not really worth the effort. Struthy's here with Edmonto. I think I had Edmonto on my list. I'd have to go back and check. No, I don't. I have Iguanodon. I remember. That's fine, though. Let's do you, yeah. Then while that's going, I think I kind of just want to stock money here, honestly. We're doing a redesign of this enclosure. Not substantially, but I want to actually make it look like something inside, and I have an idea for how I want to design it. But in order to make that work, I need to move the animals out of here. So we're airlifting them over here to a temporary holding pen. We got the hotel to provide visibility there with the watering hole. So hopefully we can do all right. Still keep afloat, make money while I work on this. And yeah, somebody mentioned the pigs in the park, that there was 2 of the like the Red River hogs or whatever. And yeah, I saw that, but I also saw a discussion about when the Africa Trail reopens in 2026, there being warthogs on it, which is why I included them. Now, I should look into that and figure out if that's just people blowing smoke out their ass or if there's actually something to that. But that's a problem for after we get this stuff sorted out. So yeah, I need to get these guys out of here and then just do that. So the plan here, I'm thinking a 2-tiered exhibit with like a little cliff and a waterfall so that the animals can like loop up around and back down, right? And then just the cliff is kind of here in the middle. And then we can have this side still be this like gentle slope, and then we can flatten all this out here over to here. Then we can have like a steeper slope coming down to here, maybe. We'll see how it works out exactly. But is it snowing? Damn. All right. I mean, fucking art follows real life, I guess, huh? I will take the money, thank you. Struthy, and Struthy. These are our ostriches, of course. 100% genome data. Nice. I'll probably wait and breed these once we can put them in their exhibit. What else did I want here? Antelopes, right? There are various antelopes or antelope-adjacent fellas in the Africa Trail. Kudu or whatever the fuck they are. So Dryosaurus to me always feels like a deer. So I think, like, in my mental headcanon for, like, let's talk about this. For, like, what animals are analogs to real animals, right? I like the idea of having kind of rules established so that if we do another real park build, we kind of follow the same logic we established in this park build. So, like, obviously carnivores like big cats and wolves and bears. Well, maybe not so much bears, but carnivores and big cats are traditional theropods. Bears are a pretty good analog for, like, Spinosaurids, right? Is these, like, piscivores, but not, like, obligate piscivores, right? Because bears eat fish, but they also eat plenty of other things. That kind of thing. Hadrosaurs, to me, especially the quadrupedal Hadrosaurs, feel like horses and stuff. Ceratopsids are a good analog for bovids. Cows, wildebeest, that kind of shit. And yeah, Dryosaurs is deer adjacent animals, and ornithomimosaurs are your big birds or ostriches and stuff like that. So the problems I'm having with this park was, how do I do pandas? I decided pandas should just be Asian stegosaurids because it makes sense. They're herbivorous animals from Asia. It's fine. Also, there are some pretty good white and black stegosaurid patterns. Maybe I don't remember which animals had the best ones, but maybe Chung has a good one. I'd have to check. The other problem is elephants. To me, elephants should be like Nigrosaurus. I think that's the best analog, is a small sauropod. But we don't have those because Frontier is evil. So I'm thinking I might do like Sauropelta for an elephant stand-in, because like I don't know where else we would ever use any ankylosaurids, honestly. So it's a chance they like use something like that, but I don't love it. And yeah, and then I think like the Centrosaurians, anything with like the nose horn would be like rhino stand-in, and then the brow horn specific ones like Nasudo are the ones that are more cow-like. That's kind of my headcanon on it. So I think that's what we're going to go with. I mean, it's definitely hardest to find an analog for like thyreophorans in general. They're very unlike any modern animals. Stegosaurs especially are just wacky animals, strange fellas. So yeah, we should click this actually. That's probably good. Boom. All right. Well, here we are. Like an hour later. This is our exhibit. This is the bones of our exhibit. A nice split level exhibit where the animals hopefully can venture between the two levels. Viewing gallery at the bottom to look at this watering hole. Viewing gallery at the top to look at this watering hole and whatever else. Now we're going to decorate this with the baobabs that we grabbed from the workshop. So we got 3 different sets of baobabs that people have done. We got big one. I think big one goes right here. And I think we got this group here can kind of go kind of here. Something like this. Maybe. They're a little bit elevated, huh? Ooh, these are going to be hard to maneuver. Let's undo those. Let's put them... Let's do it... We put them over here more. We, like, align them with where we want them to be, essentially, right? But we put them away from the rocks, like this. And then we drag and move them over. Perfect. And then we can sink them down into the ground properly. I think about there. A little fine-tuning of the position. I notice this little fella here appears to have escaped from somewhere. Probably off the top of one of the trees. Just delete it. It's fine. They're not seamless, but I still like them. I still think it's a fun vibe having these at the top of the cliff. It looks better the further you are away from it. Like, I think this looks pretty cool, like looking at the cliff with those trees above there silhouetted against the horizon. And then we have 2 little ones. Yeah. So why don't we put these guys, like, here, roughly? Sure. Maybe just, like, right like that. Like, one by the waterway. Oh, we just got to delete the platform, which I can only assume is there to show you, like, ground level or something, right? I think that works. I like it. If we're in the thing, yeah, you could like see the trees up there.
The appropriate information will be automatically.
And if you're over here, yeah. All right. Now we got to talk about the pigs. Yeah, the warthogs don't exist. The source of the warthog thing, I figured it out. Internet sleuthing. It was an edit somebody made to the Wikipedia page that has since been erased. So we should have 2 red ones probably. So I think for now we probably keep these, and then in daylight maybe I keep the brown one. I decide brown is close enough to red. I think this one is probably fine. And we get rid of the darker one. That way we still have that reddish vibe for the hogs. What is the arid plus forest brush for this map? For temperate? Let's check. Arid. There isn't one. You just don't get one. It just doesn't exist. Instead, you have, what, 4 forest brushes? 5, 6? 6 forest brushes, including bamboo, actually. I didn't even realize there was a bamboo brush. We're going to have to use that. That's actually pretty sick. We'll use this a lot on the Asia Trail, I think. I mean, obviously, right? Okay, so hopefully I didn't undo my tree. Yeah, they're good. Okay, let's get these guys sedated and moved over. And while that's happening, we can get started on some struthies as the ostriches. I have no read whatsoever. Okay, that's maxed out on how many ostriches there ought to be in the park. So let's take a look. We're going to go ahead and max out Humble on everything always forever. You know what? Here's the problem with Struthia Minus. This pattern is literally based on a naked emu. Or like a juvenile, or like a baby emu or something. I think it's a naked emu. I think it's an emu when the feathers fall off, they have these stripes still, right? I remember this being a thing. But it's literally the ostrich mimic. So like it should be the ostrich, but it should also be the emu. It could literally be both. Like there's nothing wrong with using it as both. This is whiter, right? Because this is some fucking blue pattern. So why is the black one actually the white one? Do we go... I mean, ostriches are more black than they are white. I think we do this for ostrich. Ooh, brown females. Yeah, what is it? Hold on. I'm gonna look up ostrich pictures. BRB. I'm gonna Google ostrich babes for like 5 minutes. Okay. These are our ostriches. We're doing some females with this Great Sandy and blank. One of these will be named Linda, which is apparently the only ostrich that was in the zoo as of 2022. Since, of course, we're doing a version of this zoo where the Africa Trail is open and accessible, theoretically, there might be more ostriches. I mean, there already might be more ostriches in the zoo. I don't know. I can't find that information. So I think we'll do a few. We'll just make sure we have a Linda, and then we'll have one male, maybe. So that we can have kind of the more traditional black and white vibe for one of them. So maybe like 3, maybe 4. I don't know. And then while that's cooking, let's get Dryosaurus going. Which is this dig site. Alright. Do you think Struthiomimus has gotten progressively worse each game? I think I probably agree. Maybe. Definitely, like it's definitely outshined by, Ornithomimus at this point. Humble social, humble social, humble social, humble social. Okay, so we got all sorts of fellas that are good. Literally every single one of these guys rolled social, but it might have been a 75%. So resilient, non-skittish. So maybe this is our... Oh yeah, shit, I don't have... Okay, question. Science experiment. I forgot that males are not enabled. If we temporarily turn off research, is it too late? I forgot to change this. I was going to change this for this week, and I just kind of forgot. So if I do this, and I go here... That makes no sense! That is... The fact that I can do that is very silly. Alright, and then we're going to take, I guess, these 2 skittish ones? 3 skittish ones? Or I skipped this one and we hatch 4. Let's do 4, I guess. 3 females and 1 male. How about that? Alright, cool. Alright, everybody's in and happy. We've got the plants set up in such a way that they don't overshadow our baobab trees. They're kind of scattered around the fence line. We've got, you know, things like fibrous plants on the waterfront edge, which I always think looks good. There's definitely other options we could do for something that gives it like a more of a swampy vibe. But I think the fibrous works well when you already need it, you know. I do need to get myself a ranger station back in here because I did delete it. So let's put this just like right here. Get our ranger team on this and get status info quick because these guys are going to penalize me. And then Struthies, or ostriches rather.
The right scenery can have a profound effect on an animal's well-being. Let's see just how beneficial it can be to these animals.
Okay. 57% is good enough, so I think we're going to let them just move around. They'll probably need more ground leaf. Actually, they've almost got all the ground leaf in view anyway, so they will definitely need more ground leaf. Just sprinkle some around a little bit, maybe a little bit down here in case they head this way. Just use it as a little bit of a fill on the paddock, I guess, you know? It's fine. Alright, I mean, that's not bad. For like a small paddock, for nothing like crazy elaborate, this is the kind of thing like that I think I could see in a zoo, and I think it's pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with this, actually. Oh, hey, you already made it down here. I didn't expect you to see you here. Welcome. There's the baby zebra. Cool. Cool. Okay, Dryosaurus. What are we doing for Dryos? Yep, process that on you. And we got another clutch to grab in the wild there. Another clutch of fossils, I mean. We got to clutch them in our hand as we bring them back to the lab. That's what I mean. And then was that it for this trail? These are our antelope slash whatever else was here. We got the zebras, we got the ostrich, we got the hogs. Yeah, that should be essentially it. Alright. Cool. Yeah, let's resolve the Protoceratops issue, which is there should be 2. Should be 2 hogs, and we got 3. Nope. There we go. So yeah, these are the 2 ones that were warthogs. They were brown, but I think this one is red enough that we can imagine it's a Red River hog. And that's fine, because, I mean, a Red River hog is not like a red crayon, right? Oh, nice little peek at the proto lookout animation. Cool. But yeah, I figure this is close enough to the red one that I'm happy to accept it as a Red River hog, even though it was intended to be a warthog. 24K isn't that bad. All right, cool. Now, what are we doing for park ratings? 96% transport, 92% welfare, 88% on the shops. So the shops are at capacity,
I've got a task for you, and as a treat, I'm gonna let you decide how to handle it. Thank me later.
As a treat, I'm going to ignore you and move on with my life. All right, okay. So these are doing stuff. Would we be better off doing like... Well, these just kind of all suck. I mean, I guess that's better. Yeah. Because the orange is almost 0. Oh yeah, also guests still can't spawn. We should try to resolve this. Oh, and the trees. The trees are a thing. So, or sorry, there should be trees here. That's a thing I missed. The zoo entry sign actually has these like little trees that come up on either side as well. That should be here in the middle of these little bushes on the middle level. So I got to put those in. I think I'm going to experiment with this and try to figure out how we can make the park entrance work. Because I really would like there to be people in this park. I think we really are losing something, specifically with the vibe of this exact park being like a zoo, that I find extremely disappointing by not having guests. Like, sometimes in the past, I haven't cared that much. Like, we want to see a pile of people marching down the path into the park, and we don't have it. I want it. It's got to work. Okay, so after some science, I know what the problem with the entrance is. It's a collisional issue, right? So at the bare minimum, we need to turn the crosswalks and roads to not be collisional, and then maybe just strip out the sidewalk. So let's try it. So first things first, crosswalk completely. Select all the crosswalk, confirm, and collision off. We can leave the collision on. Well, we should just make this consistent, right? Confirm, collision off. Now, if we unpause, yeah, nobody comes in, right? So now we edit this. We go here. We say, nope. Not you either. Not you either. And then we go here. We edit this, and we say, also not this, or this, or this, or this, or this. Or this guy, I guess, whatever. And then we go here. Duplicate this guy. Still not working. Okay. So probably this also needs to be collisionless then. Right. Why did that? Collision off. On only. Edit group. What did I... Oh, I think I have to have it selected without the arrival point building proper. Collision off. Why was that fiddly? Why did that not immediately... Did I miss something? Collision off. Collision off. This was working. I swear this was working. Why do you hate me? Is it the... This should be good. Welcome to my life. It was working, but then I reloaded because we took so long experimenting. I didn't want to keep it. And now it's being this piece of shit where I can't select the outer object. There we go. It shouldn't be the door. Collision off. Because the door was still here before. Unless I killed the wall behind it. Oh, I think it's this, maybe. This, like, this piece? Bruh. Why did it work when I wasn't recording? And now it just doesn't work. What the fuck? Because you gotta close and reopen the park sometimes for no earthly reason.
That our guests leave the park.
Okay, these guys are crossing. But is anybody spawning new? Yes. It's working. Oh my god. Okay, great. So, that's how we fix the entrance, right? Which means every door is going to be slightly elevated. So watch your step. I think fixing that would be... Well, can I just move the door down? I need to not... No, that was the right one. Edit group. Then click U. It's because the building inside here. I realize why this is buggy. It's because the entryway inside, the park arrival area, I put that in separately from the blueprint, right? So there's a building inside of a building. Because the one is gameplay connected to it, whenever I click on the rough area it's associated with, the game likes to send me to the arrival point, because that's probably what it thinks I want to click on. It just happens to be that that's not true. Okay, so I can fix the doors visually. So that's what we do. We just move every door down manually. And then we got to put in new sidewalk, and then we got to move all this shit down. Right, so we got to grab like every planter. Oh god, and individual plants. I'm going to do all this, and then we just got to fix it. I hate this. I have to do this. Why didn't it just work in the first place? Damn. Oh, there's like a... Oh, I see. That is part of it. Oh, man, it's also really hard to see because it's the same color as the sidewalk. So that's what I'm going to do for the next hour, I guess. Sad. Sad. What do we got going on here? Undiagnosed ailment. Let's get this taken care of. Medical team, get in there. Take care of Junior's little problem. Dryosaurus, check. Okay, I have too much Dryosaurus. There. But we are done with it. Okay. I'll have to think about what the next exhibit is. I think I'm perfectly happy to just chill out and accumulate money while I work on the entrance. So I'm not going to bore you by making you watch me replace every fucking piece of sidewalk and fix every chair. But I am going to do it. Because I've come this far. There's people in my dinosaur park. Look at them go! They can make it through here perfectly fine, too. I didn't have to change any of this shit. Which is great, because I do like the vibe of this. Although I would like you to... They're all going through that way. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. This is the entrance, and this is the exit. Nobody wants to leave. They're like, this place slaps. I'm going to stay here forever. Research cryptosporidiosis. Yes. 5, 2, and 2, because I upped the cost. Which is, in fact, a thing I did do. 57 seconds on this. Do I think karma will happen? No, I don't believe in karma, fortunately. Okay, I don't remember what the last thing I said on video was. It's been a minute. We were researching what to do about the cheetah. So, the park here has a variety of big cats. It's got tigers, it's got lions, but it's also got cheetahs in the Africa Trail and clouded leopards in the Asia Trail, which will be over here. Now, clouded leopards weigh about half as much as a cheetah. And the animal I was thinking of for the leopard / the cheetah, without making the distinction of which one is which, is Herrera, because there's a nice yellow and black spotted pattern. Given that the cheetahs are heavier, we'll use the Herrera for the cheetah, and we'll use a smaller animal for the clouded leopards when we get around to them. There are 25 cheetahs in the Smithsonian as a greater unit, not necessarily at the exhibit. There's also a recent a recent litter of 4 cubs. So what I'm thinking is, since we don't know which cheetahs would be on a display, and which ones would be basically in the breeding program in the back, at a separate location even, I'm going to do the male and female pair that I have the names for that had the recent litter of cubs. So we're going to do 2 adults and 4 juveniles. Eventually. Well, that'll take a little bit of effort, right? I could even consider getting like compatibility to make sure I get a viable breeding pair, but we can also just use Sandbox to turn off to like make breeding guaranteed. Which, given the nature of this park, I wouldn't even feel that cheaty about. We're going to try and put the exhibit in here, which I think is highly questionable. But we can expand back out this way as need be, or even move some stuff around here as need be. So I think we'll try to make it work. Big question. Big questions. I also did get all of this. I guess that's what I was doing, right? I was gonna rescale this stuff. So yeah, this is what we got here fixed up for the sidewalk. I mean, it's perfectly flat. It doesn't have that raised sidewalk vibe anymore, but it's much more important that it works as an actual sidewalk without the people, you know, on their knees buried in concrete. Yeah, I mean, that's just more important to me, right? All right. Well, let's get medical treating our crypto bros.
Sick animal that requires immediate care.
No shit.
If this happened in the wild, it could be in
I'm
real
on it,
trouble.
man.
Here?
Chill. All right. 5. We're putting in 5 dinosaurs. 1 for every different species of antelope adjacent animal that's in the park. These could probably all be female. What does the male even look like? I mean, it's like the same guy. He's just the same guy. So firstly, we have kind of just a white guy. This is an Adax. He's got like a brown head. Is there any way, like, what if we have a pattern that is fairly light? Yeah, like this. Then it's a red head. But that's still kind of... Oh, here's a problem. If I want 1 of every variety, then I have to synth 5 times. Males are unlocked at 3 stars. So what if we do blank for this? So this would be the Adax. And then we have the Sitatunga. And that guy's just kind of brown, right? Like a light brown. Like this guy. This could be our Sitatunga. Right? And then we got a Oryx. He's kind of just white too, though. So we could have 2 Quillians as Oryx and the other guy, right? And then we do... Now, the next one is like brown and white. So this one really should be like a pattern. Okay, so we can throw in the pattern, maybe. The Calcarana. The red doesn't really match the vibe, but this guy's kind of reddish-brown anyway. Sure. That, you know, that to me feels like a Dama gazelle. Sure. Okay, and the last one is the kudu. The kudu is pretty dope. He's like a ash gray color with like thin white stripes and then like some really wacky horns. So we definitely gotta give him some rep. So let's go blank. Let's go Calco. Then we got Solar and we got Quillian. And then we need to figure out this like more ashen gray guy. So let's do this as a blank. Maybe this one? Yeah, I think that one's good. So we do a Svalbard, right? Do we do... I guess it's just the same pattern, right? Because it should be like white on like gray. Okay. And then as we get the ones I'm looking for, I guess we remove the other ones. Sure. Fine. So one gray and then each other combination. I guess. That's what I'm thinking. And then you get rested, and let's get Herrerasaurus to finish up the Africa Trail. First carnivore of the park, my beloved 9 logistics. He do be like that, though. Don't move when I click on you, man. Alright. I mean, that's a lot of money. We're a zoo, though, you know? This is ethically bad for a zoo to, like, sell an animal to a private person, like, legally. We can't take this. It's just not allowed. It's not appropriate. Okay, I didn't randomize. I ended on Svalbard Calcarana, apparently. So, R.I.P. me. Fuck. Alright. Well, we got one at least. God damn it. How does this shit make any sense? I refused to sell a private owner a dinosaur egg, and now people are protesting me over it. How dare I not sell that animal to, like, fucking Elon Musk or something so he can have his own dinosaur? I'm just a fucking asshole. How dare I keep those billionaires from having their exotic pets? Alright, this is set up correctly now. Let's get these. Like, I feel like the sabotage system is essentially a holdover from like the first game, right? Where it's like you're getting sabotaged because you're not taking care of your faction rep, right? But at this point, like that's not a thing that exists. It would be much more interesting if the type of sabotage was connected to what sort of thing you did cause the sabotage meter to go up, right? So rather than it being a guest protest, if it was somebody hacked my gates, right, and opened my gates to punish me for not selling the egg, that would make sense. That would be appropriate. This is just like, what are we doing? All right, Mr. Dryosaurus. Sorry, Miss Dryosaurus. You are... What did I say this one was? This was the lesser kudu. Oh, that's a male in the picture. Well, whatever. It's fine. This is the kudu. We know what it is. We know why it is. Okay, and it's already happy. I assume everybody's still good here, right? Like your protos are good? Yeah. Also, should look into if there's any other bovids in this pen. I don't think there are. Or any bovids, period. Any, like, wildebeest. I don't think there were any. Solar, Quillian. Okay, so we got 3 out of 4. So now we need Quillian blank. To, like, finish up the roster, basically. Quillian blank. Quillian blank. Quillian blank. Quillian blank. Next. Alright. We'll get the guy back and then we can do the Herreras. We're gonna get a little bit of research out of the way. So I don't remember if I set medium amenity to be 1 star or 1.5 or something, but we do have access to it, so we're gonna do that. But then we have access to wide path as well. Maybe I left these... Yeah, no, these are star rating. So I think it was 1 and 3 is what I set these to. 0, 1, 3 for the progression. And then these, I think I just turned up the numbers on the thoroughfare and stuff. I think this used to be 600, and I made this 1,000. And then this one was, like, less dramatic. Like, I almost doubled this one, but I think this one was, like, plus 100 people or something. That does, I think, just feel better. Yeah, sure. You will do those. Alright, so for the last Dryo, we can just take... How is this no traits? These are... These should be max humble. Let's release these. Blocked by dinosaur. Alright, fine. Fuck you too. Humble docile, humble small app. And that one's small app anyway. Great. You. Can I have my dinosaurs, please? Okay, there we go. Alright, so Dryo 2. Humble. 3, humble. 4, humble. And this guy had everything. Thank you. Pay compensation. Yes. Explain it. Explain it. Explain it. Explain it. Explain it, though. How do we get one that wasn't humble when it's 100%? This... It's not like there were too many other genes. Somehow we generated a non-humble, no-gene Dryosaurus. He had no pants of any kind. What is that about? How does that even work? How is this possible? Well, it wouldn't be a new park build without discovering a new bug, right? I suppose that's our bug for this park build. Other than the fact that it took literally like 6 hours for me to figure out how to make guests in the park. Other than that bug. All right. Well, we got all the deer named: Kudo, Sidatunga, Dama, Adix, and Oryx. Those are the 5 varieties, apparently, of antelope adjacent animals that are in this area. So, when everybody's happy, everybody's chill, everything is good and well and right with the world. Now we will go find Herrerasaur and bring that in. We did upgrade the paths now to the 2nd tier. We kept these ones as sand paths. You can actually see them creeping through here off the edge of the sidewalk. But if you've ever looked at the edge of a sidewalk, it also looks like shit anyways. That's perfect. That's just accurate to a city sidewalk. So yeah. And then we'll have to figure out how this exhibit works. So we're going to do social. I think we do want to crank them. So we do social to make sure we are minimizing that as much as we possibly can, which is relevant for the babies too. That's a 12 though, because that is up there. 3, 3, and 4. 9, 10, 11, 12. Can I do 4 on this? Wrong thing. Can I do 4 on this? 5. This game is so generous. Should we... I don't know if we can bring back the 3 scientist science limit. Should we try? I don't know if I can. Well, whatever. Well, this storm is kicking my ass. A little bit. Alright, calm down. I like that I can't see my injury because all my animals are angry because there was a fence break. Concussed. Alright, fair enough. That is the Oryx. Yeah, Conch was something I do want to use. Like, I like Conch. It was on my short list for standing in for various predators. But I don't know if we're going to find something that quite fits him. We should think about it. Like, I do kind of want... Like, I mentioned it at the start of this video, that I want, like, a rule of thumb for, like, approaching this sort of park build. Like, what animals stand in for what dinosaurs. Or vice versa, which dinosaurs stand in for which animals. And so thinking about what animal is most like a concavenator is an interesting thought exercise. I guess it could be a camel. But camels are Ouranosaurus. Like, we just don't have it yet, right? Alright, let's maybe hold off on processing these until after we do the social research. Just get this out of the way when we have the full team on deck. Perfect. I think the worst of the storm is maybe past. Maybe? If only Megalosaurus made it, we could make that straight up a tiger. Did it have a good tiger pattern? I legitimately don't remember, because I don't know the last time I actually used Megalosaurus. It's, I genuinely forgot what he looks like. I don't know why. Okay, so Herrera's humble social save and exit. Nope, I need to set up the skin correctly. Now we want 4 babies, and that is going to be a pain in my ass because these are not going to be consistent. So, do we think Pilo is more cheetah, or do we think Calcarana is more cheetah? Because I'm a little divided. This is more spotty. Because this is like the filled-in bits. But it is slightly blue. This is rather more blue. See, this one should definitely be this, I think, for the male. If I do them differently, that's maybe making things more confusing for getting the right juveniles. I mean, it's still very spotted. It's just because these bits in the middle are filled in here, and on the thigh. I think I'm just going to keep it consistent between the two. Amazon Calco. I think that's, do any of them have white on them? What do you mean, like base? Paler yellow the better. I mean, do we want to go like Death Valley instead of Amazon? Baby cheetahs are striped. Well, we can't do anything about the babies. Because, like, it's not like we can make the babies ourselves. And it's not like the babies have different, like, pattern shit, right? So the babies are just going to be what they are. As long as they're, like, yellow. Right? I think I like Amazon, personally. Even if it's less accurate, because it's more distinctive, right? I think I'm okay with going with a slightly cartoonified version of what a cheetah looks like to make it more distinctively feel like a cheetah, right? And just to mix up color variety in the park a little bit. So I think I prefer Amazon. I think we'll go with this. All right, we're gonna skip the skittish and just take these two. Doesn't really matter which one's which. Looks like they're at about roughly half in terms of area. And then you add on top of that like 4 cubs. Like maybe going back this way will work, but maybe not. this area might just in general be too small to make this work. Like I was definitely, you know, pretty sure I was going to have to push it back further, but I'm just not too sure that I can make it work with the cubs. I mean, the cubs would have less environmental needs. So maybe it's fine if I like push it all the way back to here or something. We'll try it. We have a slight problem. We better let these people out of here before we feed them to a cheetah. All right, go, you morons! Get out of there! Go, shoo. Do we think they're okay? They're a little bent, out of shape, you know. Just a smidge. Like what the fuck? It's definitely something to do with them being like off screen. Well, anyway, this exhibit here does have some babies in it now. And we got this nice little Coelophysis enrichment thing I downloaded off the shop for a little bit of animal enrichment. Also threw in a few logs in some other areas because there were like some logs. Like you can find pictures of the babies crawling on logs, so it made sense to me to throw those in. And yeah, we cut it down a little bit to get this wormtail disease. Yeah, that sounds about right. Threw in a little bit, or cut off a little bit to throw in this gate. Those are the words I'm trying to say. We do need one more baby. And the ones we do have, I'm not thrilled with, because they all kind of got red spots. Which ain't quite right. Oh. Why did they go, oh? But, like, it's not bad. It's acceptable. So, this one has got a different base color. We might get rid of this one when we get a second batch. If we don't, it's not so far off color-wise that, like, I won't accept it. But we'll consider getting rid of it. And, yeah, I don't know if I said before, but I named these Flash and Ambala, who are the two that had the litter in the zoo itself, like, relatively recently. And yeah, the other cheetahs are not going to be here, so this is just going to have to do. Because that's all I'm going to put in. And then I think we leave it here for this episode. Until next time, I suppose. Maybe we do a little bit more decorating this, but I got to think about if we put anything else in here. I mean, this is kind of what it should be in a sense, right? We could try to, like... What if we do this? Like, how much can we actually do with the terrain? Not really much of anything. I mean, I could do that, but that's going to just, yeah, cover that up. Well, we can have some very slight hills, I guess. We can put in a slightly bigger hill to make it a little more uneven once we get this nest out of here.